Now, for those of you who don't know, Shrek 5 has been delayed to June 30th of 2027 because everyone guessed the plot. Now, I'm guessing that wasn't on anyone's bingo card this year. According to many articles and sources, Shrek 5 has been delayed, thus pushing the theatrical release to summer of 2027. Now, why did Universal and DreamWorks announce this delay? Well, many fans have theories that a lot of people have guessed the plot of the movie. So, DreamWorks has to go back from scratch. This is a bizarre claim. However, there is a hint of merit to this opinion. Before we get into this, all over social media, many fans have put two and two together. Based on the modern designs of the characters of the people in the film, many people have already come up with their own conclusions that this is going to be a very predictable plot for Shrek 5.
Let me guess, she's a rebellious girl who wants to explore the world, but Shrek, being the overprotective dad, doesn't want her to go. In the end, he will become a better father. Yeah, we already see where this is going. This is going to be another one of those cliche father and daughter coming of age movies. We already know. So you don't have to waste your time seeing this movie.
Claiming that he will be an overprotective dad to a teenage daughter who rebels and seeks independence from the swamp. A very generic conflict arises, you can tell, thus leading Shrek to get in trouble, so she saves him, allowing for lessons on acceptance. Now, these are very basic things that anyone could come up with, but a lot of people are assuming this will be in the movie, which does seem very likely based on what I saw in that teaser. People have consistently guessed the plot, because we've seen this trope over and over again, and people are tired of it. You know, once upon a time, DreamWorks was the studio to make parodies of things like this. They brought something fresh to the table. They challenged the industry back in the day, similar to what Sony is doing right now in 2025, with experimentation. However, DreamWorks no longer wants to experiment with the Shrek franchise, it seems. They kind of want to play it safe. And playing it safe is not necessarily bad. However, you have to realize that Shrek is not the movie for this. You don't have to play it safe with this. That is not the point of this franchise in the first place. You know, back in the day, Disney had the monopoly over princess movies, and DreamWorks wanted to put their own spin on it. So they gave the people something new, a mockery in a sense. However, it seems that they now want to relax with the Shrek 5 movie due to the backlash. They gotta go back and change a lot of things that were important to the plot. Now, I've spent a lot of time on this channel defending DreamWorks, and I will continue to defend them, but I have to admit in this case, the first mistake that I saw with this was actually Shrek's design. That was the first error, because it sets up a bad precedent for an upcoming disaster. Now, from the outside looking in, you're probably wondering, Kolobi, what is the big deal about this animation change, and how would that even affect the plot of a movie? That sounds ridiculous. It's a new age, it demands new animation, I see nothing wrong with it. But the problem with your statement is, with the new teaser trailer, the animators tried to make the characters look attractive and bubbly, which defeats the purpose of Shrek in the first place. Also, we are using medieval elements in this film and universe, correlating them with the modern world makes absolutely no sense. Now look, I'm still on DreamWorks' side at the end of the day because they dropped so many banger movies over the years, I can't even scoff at them at this point. However, I do believe that we can still offer them criticism because what they're doing to these older classics like Megamind and Shrek is absolutely a joke. Now, as I was reading the other articles on why they delayed the Shrek movie, it said that they didn't really give a reason for the holdup, meaning that they wanted to keep this quiet. What is the big secret that they're hiding from everyone? I wish they would just flat out tell us, but that might very well come back to bite us in the butt because that would spoil us. So maybe it's best that we are kept on the dark on this matter. However, the obvious assumption left to the viewer is that there may be elements in this film that are woke, according to many people across the world. Now, this is obviously speculation from the fans, but would they be off on this? Because we actually do have real life examples of this happening. This is quite literally what Disney has done over the years when they want to remove woke elements from their films. They actually end up delaying the movie for about a year or two, sometimes even more. Then when it's actually time for them to drop their film, they refuse to add promotion and advertising because even they realize what they have done probably destroyed the entire movie. They stripped away essences and elements that would have made it actually unique, even if it was woke. We saw this happen with the movie Strange World, and we're now seeing this happen with the movie Elio. This may possibly be the fate of the new Shrek movie. Unbelievable. Even when you go back to the teaser of Shrek, we see that the characters have nose rings and their hair is blow dried. There are most likely going to be a lot of modern elements implemented into the film, to which now DreamWorks has to go back and edit out, which is sad because this is just going to waste a lot of money. Like, at some point, do companies realize that they're just throwing away millions of dollars down the drain to go back and edit out things that the public doesn't realize? Most people don't realize how painful the process of creating art is, and I'm not just talking about animation, I'm talking about voice acting, storyboarding, even something like rendering. Oh, that's a killer. If they have to go back and render even 5 minutes of animation, we're talking thousands of dollars. So this delay gives me the impression that they're most definitely removing elements from the movie which were significant to the plot. So now at this point in the video, you're probably wondering if Shrek 5 will have a chance. And I would have to tell you that the answer is probably no. Well, no and yes. I understand that many people still would like to see this man appear on the big screen, but you will probably be let down. I'm just going off history, man. Anytime a studio needs to go back and edit out portions of their film, 9 times out of 10, we're left with a product that is a mess and is at best a former shell of itself. And I'm not saying this movie can't be funny. Of course it can. Look at his face. However, will there be any substance to this film? Now, there is an angle that I didn't explore, which could actually end up making the movie better. Now, there are only really 2 possibilities here. They edit the film, which completely destroys it. Or number 2, they add things to the film that make it way better than it was supposed to be, because they removed a lot of nonsense. However, in both cases, once again, you are left with something that is a former shell of itself. Sticking to one idea and committing is a hard thing to do, especially for me. I've always struggled with that concept because personally, my mind likes to wander, and when I'm writing a story, I want to write a different story. I want to explore this angle, but that's just me. I'm not a big studio. DreamWorks is shocking me because they used to have a track record of really consistent movies and themes with their plots, but not anymore. They are getting unsure of themselves these days. Seeing them have to go back and struggle, rewrite, edit out, just looks tacky. This is making them look a little bit sloppy. However, they could bounce back from this and regain that title of being on top. Folks, this is a mixed bag. If you are going to gain anything from this video, is that you need to understand that the Shrek movie is being handled very poorly. Very poorly. This isn't something that's scalable for the company. You can't just make a movie, hire voice actors, render out the film, release a teaser, get backlash, then have to go back and repeat that process again. You are doubling your budget for no reason and wasting a lot of time, effort, and most importantly, money. I mean, come on, write me one of those checks, man. It's so annoying seeing companies have to go back and re-edit their film, and it's not even guaranteed that the movie won't flop. Like at this point, you might as well just start mailing people checks, because that's exactly what you're doing, just wasting money. May I remind everyone that Shrek came out in 2001. They beat Disney at their own game with fresh, edgy humor. They had something unique going for them, but with this new movie, it just, I don't think people realize how groundbreaking this movie was back in the day. I mean, they had characters drinking alcohol in an animated movie. Could you imagine seeing drinking in a film geared towards younger audiences? If so, I made a video for you. You can click the link down below. I go through a compilation of drinking in movies that were geared towards a younger audience. I thought it was interesting. It would mean a lot if you check that out after this video. Anyways, we are at the end of the video. I would like to thank my channel members. Thank you, John, on Patreon. If you would like your name verbally shouted out at the end of these videos, go and pledge and become a channel member. That helps me out a ton, man. The Kolobi crew deals with so much ridiculous copyright, and it takes a lot of effort to make these videos for you. So thank you guys so much. Have a safe rest of your day.